Hey guys, I'm Jorge Simons here again at the UXClinic. I'll be hosting the third episode with a great team of passionate designers. Just to remind you that at UXClinic is our initiative to give back to the software community we're proudly part of. And before we hit it off, I'd like to remind you can check out the amazing content these guys have created over the past weeks. We will be repeating this link a lot, but we really need you to get in with us and participate. It's uxclinic.nearsoft.com. You can check out full reports for each episode, each of our episodes in video just as we finish this session today, and a sign-up form for your app or website. It's really important you're not project shy. We're used to working with a lot of different teams, and we really want to evaluate your case and just create delightful experiences for your users. But most of all, it's important that you get to meet our team, and I'd like to start off with Marisol Ortega. Marisol, welcome to the UXClinic.
Thank you, Jorge. Just a little overview of my experience. I've been working as a designer for 10 years. 9 of those years, I've been in the software development industry, going through this transformation process of starting as a web designer and then slowly becoming a UX designer. I work as a freelancer. I've been an entrepreneur. Right now I'm working here at Nearsoft, and then before that I was working at T-Mobile.
Marisol really is selling herself short. She's one of the founding members of the UXClinic, along with Diana Arballo. Diana, good morning.
Good morning. Hello, everybody. I'm Diana Arballo. I have 10 years of experience as UI designer. I have worked for different companies like InGroups, that is a lead provider of global music distribution, Axolotl, that's a healthcare industry. Also, I work for Factory Games, designing games for Facebook, and some startups.
So we actually tried to get Diana to list every single company she's worked at, and it was kind of impossible because she has a ton of experience. She's also a social photographer and is really color obsessed. So in the questions, you can ask her about the best colors for almost anything. And we have really good young talent here at Nearsoft. One example of that is Miguel Medina, who's also a designer, more on the techie side of things, right?
Thank you, Jorge. Hi, I'm Miguel Medina. I have 4 years of experience working as a web designer. I also work as a freelancer and in different companies. And I like to create layouts and see them implemented on the web. And I also like illustration, and I love music.
He's also a salsa dancer. I just love telling people about you guys. I'm sorry. A very important part of this week's team is Barang. He's over at the development team at Spork. I would like for you to present yourself and tell us a bit about the app. What do you expect your users to do in it? What's the motivation behind it? Hello and good morning, Barang.
Hi there. I'm very happy to be here today. Hi, my name is Barang. I'm the founder at Spork, and yeah, I mean, the motivation was really came to me one day when I saw these restaurants during the daytime, off-peak hours, noticed that there were hardly anyone in there, but there are plenty of people on the street, and I thought, what if there was a way to draw in customer traffic during certain off-peak hours, and if restaurants had an ability to do that, how great would that be, and how much would it help move the needle for their business? So that was kind of the inspiration behind Spork. What Spork is really just a mobile app that lets users discover real-time promotions at the best nearby restaurants. So what we do is we curate the most popular restaurants, cafes, and bars in your city and enable them to broadcast hyper-local promotions based on their business needs exclusively to Spork users.
Thanks for joining us today. I know you have a busy schedule, but I guarantee you'll have a lot of fun today.
Sure, thank you.
Okay, so just to start things off, an important part of what we consider here as a UX evaluation is actually selecting the right method that would actually provide accurate feedback about UX and overall design. So I'm just going to give the ball to you guys. The ball's on your court. Go ahead and tell us why and how you chose usability testing and rapid paper prototyping for this particular case.
Yeah, so in one hand we have usability testing as our method, because during our preliminary analysis we noticed that Spork users have a very straightforward task to achieve. They want to find nearby restaurant deals and arrive to the place to redeem a coupon in a limited amount of time. So we wanted to make sure that potential users could achieve this task effortlessly. So this is the reason why we chose usability testing as our design method in this episode. We wanted to test Spork in a variety of usability principles, such as learnability, efficiency, memorability, and satisfaction, among others. And we wanted to find usability issues when completing this main task. So we did 2 rounds of usability tests, and then we combined that with paper prototyping. And I'm going to let Diana to talk a little bit more about paper prototyping, just because she's a huge fan of it.
Thank you, Marisol. We did a rapid paper prototyping, and it is simple what it sounds. You make a rough sketches of early design ideas, and then test them at extremely low cost. Doing that, you fix usability problems before you waste money implementing something that doesn't work.
Okay, so what you're saying is you have a really low cost or cheap method to create or to find out or discover valuable insights, and then you actually need to talk to users, or how's the process of making the initial evaluation with usability testing and paper prototyping?
Yes, first we tested the application with 5 users, which is the ideal number to spot almost as many usability problems on the system. And for each participant, we had 2 observers taking notes, plus 1 facilitator to guide the user through the process. And we wanted to see if they understood what a Spork is and how they work. And to test our assumptions, we gave the user simple tasks to measure the app performance.
Yeah, first of all, we asked the users what they thought about this app is. And the first impression was the app would allow them to find nearby restaurants or food-related places. And that happened because the map, the food picture, additional screen, and the sport icon gave them hints. But in order to truly understand, they had to explore it extensively. We also found the promotion dynamic took longer to be understood. Then we asked them to access the app, and this part of the process was very, very, very clear and was completed smoothly and with confidence by all the users.
Another task is find an option. When we tested the interaction with the map to find an option, we noticed the users struggled too much. They needed to do plenty of zoom in and zoom out to see the details of the restaurant they were attracted to. And another one was choose an option. When we had the user choosing an option, we observed some misunderstanding regarding as to when the promotion was actually booked. Although they eventually noticed there was a promotion that expired in 30 minutes. And they expressed confusion for the lack of clear feedback for their selection. And we watched them being caught on kind of a loop, choosing a place, seeing nothing was happening, then resetting to Spork and searching and choosing again.
So after they pick an option, they have to go through the process of redeeming the promotion of the Spork. So during our observations, we noticed that users were not quite sure how to redeem the promotion. We found out that there was a missing link to reinforce the feedback loop between the users and the system, because the users didn't know their Spork was waiting for them at the restaurant. They actually expressed despair for not knowing what to do next. So after a while, they figured it out. They just guessed they needed to show the phone at the counter or at the table to make it effective. And it was usually after a deeper exploration of the app's functionality. So after we went through each one of the tasks with the users, we got together and then we did a summary of the issues that we found. We have found 4 main issues. The first one is the Spork icons in the map and the general interface and the map view didn't give enough information of what the app is really about, which is getting real-time nearby promotions. It was very clear that it was about eating places, but not about nearby promotions. So the second issue was that users struggle to compare and contrast between promotions. And then the third one was that users didn't know if a promotion or a Spork was actually booked. And then the last one, as I told you before, there was a missing link to reinforce the feedback loop between the users and the system, because the users didn't know that their Spork was waiting for them. So we took these 4 issues and we categorized them and ranked by severity, and our aim was to make sure that the users understand what a Spork really is and how to redeem it. Then we got to work and draw some sketches in the next iteration. So I'm gonna send the ball again to Diana to talk us a bit more about the rapid preview prototype session that we did.
We took a look at the data and analyzed how they could be translated into a new functionalities for the new version. This time we'll produce a wireframe. We use a sketchboard approach to quickly perform design iterations and then single out the best user experience to document and build upon the final wireframe. We finally came up and agreed on a final proposal that accounted for the feedback gathered during the test. We set up to draw a final paper prototype and test again in another set of interviews. The following tests include 4 participants with the same process we followed for the previous sessions. This time we used our paper prototypes, including the proposed changes, so the users could explore the new flow.
So that's the summary of all the work he did behind his insights, and I guess Bereng is really excited to see the actual design, and we need to just jump right into the new design iteration. How does this all work out? You had 3 new improvements. Can someone explain them to me? What's going on?
Sure. Well, tutorial in which we try to explain how it works, and
So you have a tutorial for an onboarding process, right?
sorry.
You needed to get the user familiarized with that. And how does the user start to know little by little how you can actually get to the Spork? I think Marisol can tell us a bit about that.
Yeah. So can Bunny show us if he show us how it works? And we have a series of mock-ups or wireframes that we want to show to everyone in Bereng. So we introduced this tutorial for first-time users as a way to have an onboarding process. So when a user first opens the app, we want them to show this little tutorial so they can really know what the app is about. So this solves the issue of users not knowing for sure what Spork actually is. Users will have the option to skip the tutorial if they want to, and it will be only shown for the first time they use the app. So with this tutorial, we have 3 key steps. The first one, in the first one, we can see a brief description of how real-time promotions work, giving you a quick overview of the promotion and telling you what you need to that you need to tap a Spork to see the full promotion. In the second step, the user sees where the full promotion display and the description of the promotion terms, plus a Spork button to activate it. And in here, we have a lot of users telling us that they really want to have big buttons because they were easier to identify and it was easier to tap them. So in the last step of the tutorial, the user receives a message telling them how to redeem a Spork and the amount of time they had before the promotion expires. Here, in this case, we really want to use a very straightforward language because there was a lot of confusion between whether the time was how much time do I need to walk or drive to get to the place, or if it was the time that I have left before the promotion expires, or if I have to wait 30 minutes to get my my coupon. So we said, like, we got the exact words, walk or drive to redeem your Spork, so it was super clear. On the second improvement that we have, it was for the process of activating the Spork. The second improvement is regarding the use of the principle of progressive disclosure for activating the Spork. So based on our users' feedback, we realized that directly tapping the option in the map and immediately activating the Spork caused some confusion. So we recommend using progressive disclosure, which is showing information little by little, using only the amount of information that the user really needs for the particular task that they're going through. So this way, we ensure users understand the whole process and make them go through the task flow seamlessly without any hassle. As I said before, we also recommend having big nice buttons for clear affordances. And the most important part of this improvement is the new screen that explains the users what the chosen Spork is, its availability, and more information of the restaurant to help him decide. And then on the last part of our recommendations, we have a feedback screen that Diana can talk more a little bit about this, because she was actually the one who came up with the idea.
Thank you, Marisol. The missing part of this puzzle was the feedback screen for the remaining the Spork. And the critical error we found during research is the lack of feedback on how to actually redeem the Spork. The solution we propose is very simple. We are adding a confirmation screen using a straightforward language, letting the users know what to do next. This screen allows the user to cancel the Spork in case he changed his mind. Also, in that way, they know they must go to the actual venue and show the exclusive generated promotion for this. So we suggest using a digital coupon to enjoy the Spork. As you can see in, Bunny, can you show? Thank you. Yeah, as you can see, the UI proposed is adding some kind of the look and feel like borders, dashed borders, to make it the image look like a real coupon. Also add a barcode to make it this feel to the user that they can redeem something. Also, the user can as well build a Spork in a list that he can sort according to the proximity or rating, showing only once active Spork plus the reminder. So in this way, I think we give total control to the user.
Okay, so those are the three major improvements. Can we have like a bit of a summary just for one final insight? I'm going to throw the ball to you, Marisol, on this one.
Yeah, so our three main proposals for improvement for the Spork app is, first of all, the onboarding process with the tutorial for first-time users. The second one is adding or implementing progressive disclosure when activating the Spork, so the information flows little by little. And then the third one is the feedback screen for redeeming the Spork. So being very straightforward when telling the users what they have to do in order to get their coupon. And these three, our proposal with these three improvements is just a little, like the Spork app, it's great as it is right now, and we didn't really change a lot of things when regarding the flow. So the flow remains the same. It's just adding these little hints to so the feedback loop between the user and the system keeps flowing. So when going through this iterative process with the Spork app, we were able to discover usability issues that we were able to correct by doing these minor changes at the interface level and improving the overall user experience. So right now, we think that the next step will be for the Spork's team to implement this new design iteration and confirm with hard data and with user conversion the improvements in usability. But we have to tell you that we are pretty confident that this redesign offers a simple and straightforward way to navigate through the flow, and the people will enjoy the real-time promotions easier and faster. And just to something else to add is that we also want to highlight the fact that we have been using fast and cheap design research methods to discover real users' insights on an early stage of development. And we as a design team, we were able to detect and address critical errors that were easily translated into usability improvements. So with this, I just want to invite anyone that wants to join the UXClinic and work with us to submit your app or website. And in case you have a bigger project that will require collaborating with our team for a longer time, also feel free to contact us and we can chat for a little bit.
We need new team members. And on that note, we're actually moving to the most important feedback of today's session. We need to go back to Berang. And what do you think of the conclusions of our team for Spork? Do you think in this way users can be more engaged with the app?
Yeah, so let me just start by saying you guys have done a fantastic job. I'm a structure guy, and I really love your approach, the way that you kind of began by testing out the app as it is, doing the fast paper prototypes, and then recommending designs based on that. It's very traceable. I agree with all 3 points. As you can imagine, when you're building a startup, you're running fast, and you don't always have time to do everything that you need to. In this case, I didn't do a lot of usability testing because my top priorities were design it, build it, do the back-end integration, and really a lot of the work was around getting restaurant partnerships and building a user base. And so when you're doing that with one person, you have to sacrifice on some things. And the usability recommendations that you've highlighted, I think are completely valid, and I look forward to testing them. One, testing the app as it is until I want to get started on these enhancements and improvements immediately. But during that time, I want to start collecting the data, conversion data, usability data, and I'm set up for that now to be able to compare it to what it will be like afterward, after we implement those changes. And I'm very excited. Intuitively, I completely agree with all of them. I think and I think right from the beginning, the tutorial helps really walk the user through it. Right now, our tutorial is 3 steps, and it's not very clear. The progressive information, it reduces the clutter and makes it more intuitive again for the user on how to get to that Spork and what does it mean and how do I cancel it if I don't need to. I think one thing that happens is when you're building something inside of your queue, you start becoming more and more comfortable with it and losing sight of what a new user would view your app as, and making a lot of assumptions that they would understand that if you press the X, it's closed, rather than having a big button. So I think those and the feedback part as well. I agree with all of them. One question I have for you is, as in your process, did you at any point benchmark this against other applications, similar applications in similar space or design? And maybe you did this intuitively and as part of not explicitly, but was that done? Because I saw a lot of the fast prototyping and designing based on the feedback from users. But maybe you can share a little bit of insight there.
Yeah, so we did some benchmarking, but it was at an early stage. So before we chose which design method we were going to use, we did a little SWOT analysis, and that included some benchmarking with other apps, like something that it wasn't necessarily restaurants, like something like Groupon, or it was more. We also compared it to apps that were more about restaurants. So we picked different apps that were similar in different ways. and that way that helped us just to pick which method we were going to use and guide the process that we were going to follow next.
Got it. And I have to tell you, the feel of it is very user-centric. It doesn't feel like we're trying to, your recommendations are trying to pull from another application. And I've used a lot of them, and throughout my, building this the app is, it doesn't feel like we're copying someone. It actually feels like it's based on user feedback and usability, which is extremely important. I guess one comment that I should mention is I love that the final feedback on this is what you need to show to get your Spork with the barcodes. One thing that I thought about that before, putting a QR code and potentially integrating it with the restaurants in the end so that they scan it. But again, because I wanted to really launch this as quickly as possible, I decided to keep it simple, no integration on the restaurant end, but that definitely, in terms of traceability, trackability, that's something that we need to do, and I love that, including the barcode. It just makes it intuitive again for the user that this is a coupon. You need to go and use this rather than, now you walk into the restaurant, what do you do? What's the next action? Especially and also for the servers who may not have been educated on sport, it's again obvious. It's something that people have seen. So I really like the thought that was behind it. I think again, going back, you guys did a terrific job, and I think and I'd love to get started on these modifications as soon as possible.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. That's actually all we have for today. It's a really quick show. Barang and all of you will be receiving a full report on everything we did, how we did it, and all the results we had. But before we leave, I'd like to ask you guys here with our amazing team, do you have any final comments? And we really need to thank you, Barang. We're glad you were able to be here, and we thank you for your feedback.
Yeah, I just want to say we are very grateful that we had the opportunity to collaborate with you and that you were there throughout the whole process. And also, I want to thank our users if any of them are watching us right now, because they were so kind and they gave us some of their time to run these usability tests. And just once again, I want to invite anyone that wants to apply for the UXClinic. So here's my little ad, UXClinic.nearsight.com. And you can also sign up to get the episodes and the reports. So if you go to the website, you can see also that kind of information.
Guys, let me just say one more thing. Sorry, Jorge, to interrupt. I have an enormous debt of gratitude to you, Marisol, and your entire team. You guys did an excellent job. And to all the users, this was very helpful for me. I certainly will be recommending the UXClinic both to my peers in the space as well as to potential future team members for you. So I love working with such bright people and talented and just motivated. So this was a great experience for me. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Thanks a lot. I was actually going to say that you don't need to be project shy. We're all about sharing and having new team members each session. So please, again, here goes my big ad. It's UXClinic.nearsight.com. We have a really simple sign-up form, and you're going to be directly sent to Marisol, and she's going to be there by your side. So please, 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 we need new. We just do this because it's fun, and we need to give something back, and we just want to make the world a delightful experience, I guess. That's my corny ad. So there's just one question from Hermosillo just before we wrap up. It says, you guys did also test this on a tablet device or just an iPhone? Were you able to test it on different devices or just one kind of iPhone or iPads, or how was that for you?
Yeah, the app is only available for iPhone and Android. So in this case, we only tested the iPhone app. So it's not really available for any other devices.
It's not. I should say it's not optimized for iPad. I mean, you can use it on an iPad, but the rendering just doesn't. It's not as sharp as it. It's not optimized for it. So.
Okay, so maybe someone's eager to try the tablet version. So that's on you, Barang. I'm sorry. I think that's the next step after the
For
design
sure.
integration.
For sure. Actually, the Android version, I designed it for 4 different resolutions. So that one is optimized for tablets. On the iPhone side, it was a resource constraint. So, but definitely we want to get all the tablet users out there on Spork as well.
And we'll be happy to check that out as soon as it's available. So I need to wrap this up. That's all from us today. We'll see you in 3 weeks' time to talk about some more amazing UX tips and tricks, and on the serious part, applying different design methods for evaluation for your software products. Please again apply, and just as we finish, we'll have the video uploaded and just like 10 seconds later. So if you're just catching on, you can catch the full episode and I guess 10 seconds time. Guys, thank you so much. Berang, thank you so much. We'll be here in 3 weeks time, and please download our full report on the second episode, available on our website again, uxclinic.nerso.com. I just like repeating that, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye.
guys.
Thank you.